Cristóbal. Your men in Spain are Rob Palmer and Jerry Armstrong. We hope you enjoy all the action.
Good evening. The Bernabéu is less than half full. Stadium which holds over 100,000. Obviously the Madrid public are not convinced by the upturn in fortune since John Toshak took over. In truth, if they win tonight, they can go second in La Liga, and a place in the Champions League is looking all the more likely. But of course the Real Madrid fans really don't care about that when Barcelona are running away with a league, a 9-point lead over the rest of the Auto Reds. Lots of stories emerging from Real Madrid this week about players in dispute with the club. One of the Madrid newspapers, the sports dailies, said with the last player to leave, please turn the lights off. It's been that bad. Darling Seedorf is said to be talking to Juventus this weekend. Sávio, Panucci, Mijatović, Roberto Carlos, Arabu, Guti, Contreras, a whole team is said to be leaving the club. And John Toshak, the Welsh manager, is having to cope with all of this and to keep on a brave face in his early weeks of management on his return to the club. In contrast, Espanyol are a team on the upturn, only 2 defeats in the last 17 games. They've won 4 out of the last 5 matches. They've not lost in 7. And they do have a terrible record against Real Madrid. Over 64 games between the two at the Bernabéu. Real have won 49. Mijatović with a free kick, Raúl with a chance, and an early frightener for Espanyol. A comfortable catch in the end. Hierro, the Spanish central defender, the international central defender, coming up from the back and attempting to score his 9th goal of the season. Would have been a flamboyant one. I've got a feeling, Jerry Armstrong, given the offensive formation put out by Real Madrid tonight, we're going to see a cracking game packed with goals.
Well, they've got to entertain the public, they've got to take the pressure off themselves. They've an opportunity, as you said, Rob, to go into second place. They've got some fantastic players playing up front. Raúl, who's the top goal scorer in the Spanish league this season. You've got Mijatović, who's a fabulous player, and Morientes, who's a great goal scorer, all playing in there. And the skills from the left-hand side of Sávio, the Brazilian. I'm looking forward to seeing him play again because he started to play really well in the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Real Madrid put in a poor performance last weekend against Salamanca, which has sparked the problems at the club. Not that it needs a great deal. Raúl has gone in the papers this morning and said to his teammates, please stop squabbling. Restore the image of Real Madrid. It's Espanyol with a chance as the ball is teed in. Roberto Carlos performs his defensive duties. And his 100th La Liga appearance last weekend against Salamanca. But is one of the few contented players at Real. He's just signed a new £2 million extension to his contract, negotiated by his agent. He's also his wife. I bet she takes more than a 10% cut. Gâlkă's corner. Pochettino is up from the back with Nando. It's a Real Madrid side which is packed with international talent, and most of them players who prefer attacking to defending, led by Mijatović. He's playing in a deeper role today. Real are playing with one out-and-out attacker in Fernando Morientes, who's been in tremendous scoring form in recent weeks. He's only played 18 games. In those 18, he's scored 14 goals.
Saying that, Rob, this Espanyol team has got a familiar look about it, it's got a nice balance about it, and the two centre halves, Nando and Pochettino, it's only 2 seasons ago that Espanyol boasted the best defensive record in the Spanish league, and Toni, the goalkeeper, and Nando and Pochettino, I'm sure they're going to make it very, very difficult for Real Madrid to break them down tonight.
Toni, the goalkeeper, became the first Espanyol shot stopper to win the coveted Zamora trophy, or the goalkeeper with the best statistics last season. And he's not doing too bad at the moment. He's only conceded 33 goals in a a great April. He continued 1 goal in the whole of the month. 3 clean sheets. It's a tough man to beat. Sávio, who's replaced Clarence Seedorf in the side tonight. Seedorf is simmering on the bench, a fair distance away from John Toshak. Christian Panucci. Now Sanchís. They had a fallout following John Toshak's initial spell at Real Madrid. They've kissed and made up, and Sanchís leads the team from a defensive midfield position now. Lease of life for a 33-year-old.
I think that's the only place you can play him now, to be honest, Rob. I felt in the games I watched him, his legs, had gone, and Hierro and Iván Campo look a better centre-half partnership, and he gives them a little bit of stability by holding that position in front of the two of them as an anchor man in midfield. He's still got aggression in him and a lot of experience.
Sávio. Morientes. And Roberto Carlos. Fires in the cross with venom. Sanchís. Now Raúl. He's in a tremendous season. That's a great cross from him, headed away by Nando. This is a major test for Espanyol as Roberto Carlos plays the ball in. And Raúl tries to turn, and well, he went down pretty noisily then, but I think it was because he twisted his ankle as he tried to turn. Play goes on around him.
I'd certainly like to see that one again, Rob, because I know what he was trying to do. He was trying to just pirouette a little bit, and well, I don't think there's any intention in that.
It's just a tangle of legs.
It's just a tangle of legs. There's no intention. That, and Raúl's gone down a little bit too easy for me, and I'm pleased the referee never gave a penalty kick for that one, Rob.
I saw a lump of turf come up then, Giro. I think he may have twisted his ankle a little bit, but play continues. He hobbles on. Roberto Carlos. Actually frightening, the amount of attacking talent that Real Madrid have put out in one side tonight, with Sávio, the Brazilian, with Raúl, arguably the best Spanish player, Mijatović, one of the top players in the world, the Yugoslav international, and Morientes, the bright young regular scorer. It's not bad when you've got Panucci and Roberto Carlos as your fullbacks as well. That was the incident.
I thought it was good defending from Capdevila, Rob. He's come across, he's got his body in there. He hasn't made contact with Raúl. Raúl's tried to spin on it, and then eventually it's cleared by Pochettino.
Cristóbal. Helguera. Helguera's the youngster that's just broken into the national team. This is Dario Silva. Winter signing has been a success, Uruguayan international. It's a tough job for Illgner tonight to assemble these flair players into a defensive unit in situations like this. Remember, it all went horribly wrong 3 weeks ago against Celta Vigo when Real Madrid were embarrassed by Celta 5-1 away from home. Their worst defeat in the 1990s. Putting it up from the back, it's flicked away by Mijatović. Now Capdevila. Using cross, casually dealt with by Roberto Carlos. Raúl. He's got a goal to aim for. In more ways than one, he's got a goal to aim for, but he's got a target to aim for tonight. But Raúl is on 99 first-class goals. And there's the man in oblivion, Clarence Seedorf. It's rumoured that Roberto Carlos, who's the vice president of Juventus, the man responsible for tying up contracts with potential players. It's rumoured that Bettiga's in town. Maybe meeting with Seedorf tonight, but here's a chance for Real Madrid, and it's taken beautifully. Morientes does what comes naturally with exactly 10 minutes gone. That's his 15th goal in 18 and a bit games.
Well, it's great. It's great movement from Morientes to lose his marker, to get that yard. His first touch on his thigh was superb. Nando's trying to get back to him, but he coolly slots this on away. It's a fabulous ball as well from Morientes, and he just gives himself that little bit of time because his first touch was so good, Rob.
The fireworks have begun. I just get the impression, watching Madrid, the way they started tonight, Jerry, there's a swagger, there's an attitude to their play, isn't there?
It's exactly the same as 2 weeks ago when we had them, Rob, and they absolutely destroyed Valencia, who are a good side, Valencia, and it was over, I think, by half-time. They were 2-0 up, and they just totally destroyed them. And here, they've made a similar start. They're very positive. They've created a couple of good chances. Everybody wants to get forward. Everybody wants to put Real Madrid in the second spot in La Liga for well, before tomorrow's games start.
2 weeks ago, Morientes started the scoring at the Bernabéu against Valencia. They ended up 3-1 that night. Madrid have won 4 out of the last 6 games. Had a great start under John Toshak in the league. Of course, they went out in the Champions League against Kiev, but most of the damage had been done before Toshak took over. He has been told that the job is his. He's got full support of the board, which is a rarity in Spain. And they've told him that it's up to him how he rebuilds the side next season. They bet the Moroccan central defender is expected to sign. Steve McManaman will join from Liverpool in the summer. He's had a good day, scoring the winning goal against Tottenham Hotspur. He won't get the number 7 show when he joins Real Madrid, well, that's for certain.
Another interesting point, Rob, is that Pochettino, the number 5 for Espanyol, has also been linked with Real Madrid, and there's rumours that he may sign for Real Madrid in the summer as well. Interesting.
Panucci. This is where there is a danger for Raúl, and they are a little bit casual in defence. Espanyol are a bright young side. Likes of Sergio and Helguera and Camuro, players who are blooded by the new coach Brindisi, are all under the age of 24. Capdevila, the fullback's only 21 years of age. They have an exciting player on the bench, Enrique De Lucas, who's been playing for the under-21s. It's debatable how long Brindisi can keep this side together. There could be some names in the blue and white shirts who are going to be Spanish stars for many a year. Not necessarily at the Olympic Stadium.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, Rob, because Espanyol are basically a smaller, poorer side in the Spanish league, and they need to sell to survive, and I'm sure they'll sell a couple of players this summer.
It's been a remarkable turnaround since Brindisi took over. After 6 rounds of games, they were second from bottom of the table. Since then, he's lifted them up, and now they're on the verge of qualifying for Europe. They're in 10th place. And it's a big gap between that position and relegation, 11 points. Foul on the scorer. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Sávio this time. That's foul.
He's lively, Rob, isn't he? He just skips in through the 2 challenges and is brought down. But if you give him one-on-one situations on this left-hand side, he will run at defenders. That is his strength.
Easily recognisable Iván Campo. Just about beginning to show the form which won him honours at Mallorca last season. And Roberto Carlos runs out of ground and a little bit of nastiness. Was it Pochettino?
It was Pochettino, Rob. Who else would it be? He is totally an uncompromising character, Pochettino, the Argentinian centre-half. Very solid in defence, and I think Roberto Carlos knew what was coming on that challenge, and he decided not to try and cross the ball.
Yes, his reputation does tend to go before him. He's had 6 red cards in 2.5 years. He was sent off twice in the space of 2 weeks last month. Thiago. Up and under, and not too certain defending from Real Madrid. Most casual. Gâlcă. It's Christian Panucci, who's agreed to sign for Inter Milan, to go back to Inter Milan. The MFA for £3 million 3 years ago. He's going back to Serie A for £5 million. His replacement is said to be Michel Salgado of Celta Vigo. Be a first one. De Beer's throw. This is at Thiago. Gâlcă. De Beer to Pochettino. Oof. And they're in this mood. It's almost like a circus act, the Real Madrid style of play.
This is when I think they're dangerous, so Rob, in terms of conceding goals. They're so cavalier at times. They always want to play every department, every area of the pitch. And teams like Espanyol, who will chase and harry, like Thiago wouldn't let that lost cause go, Rob, and manage to keep it in play. That's where they've got to be on their guard.
They kept some of their most flamboyant form for the Champions League. They hit 11 goals past Sturm Graz in the 2 games against them. They're actually the top scorers in the group situation. And they fell disappointingly out of the competition in the quarterfinals, drawing at home, losing 2-0 in Kiev. And are still, until the Champions League final is played, the reigning champions of Europe.
And let's not forget they're world champions as well, Rob.
That's right, let's go to Ghana. 2-1 in an exciting game, but they didn't win the Super Cup. Chelsea beat them in Paris. Gâlkö's chip. Cristóbal. This is Helguera, who's been, I'll say, the find of the season. They knew he was a good player, but he went to Roma for a year and didn't settle into Serie A. Since he's come back, he's re-established himself in Spain. He's been in the squad a couple of times, came on as a substitute in that cracking win against San Marino. And they will play against Croatia in Seville next Wednesday night. Now, Real Madrid, full of flicks. Sávio, Morientes. Oh, it's excellent football. It's a joy to watch when they get into full flow. On that occasion they were snared by the linesman, but if they get the second goal it could be an absolute avalanche.
He's only just half a yard offside, and it's Morientes again. He's got tremendous talent, this player, who's playing in a deeper role today, Rob, and he's the one that's just trying to chip that little ball over the back 4 to play Raúl in.
There is Raúl, he's all left foot. Capdevia's seen the videos. Half-hearted attempt to stop. This is at Thiago. Helguera. Sergio to Thiago, and half a chance really. They're not going to beat a goalkeeper but at Illgner's standards from that kind of distance. A World Cup winner. 54 caps, only 32 years of age. He's still one of the best in the world. He's Schmeichel-like in terms of stature, isn't he?
Absolutely, I think he's an outstanding goalkeeper. and he was paramount in their success last year in the Champions League and also in the World Championship. And I feel that Real Madrid are very, very close to having another great team, but there's one or two positions they just need to improve, and obviously replace players like Panucci, who, as you said, is heading back to Italy in the summer.
Morientes again, just offside, just a fraction.
Yeah, the defenders have got it sussed out as he makes his run. He tries to bend the run, Rob, but the defender steps up just at the right time and catches him off by, what, half a yard, a yard. He'll win loads of free kicks today, Sávio, on one-on-one situations, and I think he's just produced the first yellow card on Cristóbal.
Well, Sávio is the most fouled man in Spain, if you believe the statisticians. A warning for Cristóbal. First yellow card of the evening, almost a quarter of the game gone. Real Madrid with a single goal lead. Superbly taken goal from Fernando Morientes. Roberto Carlos. Redondo. Now Sávio. Tantalising the Espanyol defenders.
If he did those tricks against you, Rob, you'd want to kick him as well. No wonder he's had so many free kicks, but that's part of his makeup. He's got quick feet, he likes to run at players, and he's always going to force fouls.
This is the other Raúl Tamuro. One of the young players ready for Espanyol. Espanyol, remember, the second side from the city of Barcelona, so there's that capital against Catalan rivalry in this game. Quite as fierce as Barcelona against Real Madrid.
I think, but for the wet surface, Rob, that would have been a perfect pass from Mijatović from Panucci. But we've had that little bit of rain about 10-15 minutes ago, and it's made the surface very slippery, and the ball just took off.
Sergio. Santiago. 360 degrees twice. That's a little bit dizzy. This is Sávio on the ball. Easily fouled. Point proven. It's the only way you can get the ball off him. His slides. He's actually the smallest player in LaLiga. He's smaller than Juninho. He's probably equal to Juninho's fellow countryman when it comes to skills. Redondo. A leisurely style in the centre of midfield. On his place back since John Toshak took over. Sanchís. And now Panucci. Redondo. They argue that, to be fair to Manuel Sanchís, who's like other players who does perform the histrionics. Player who's won 19 honours in a long, illustrious career at the Bernabéu. Followed his dad into the side. His dad actually won the European Cup in the early 60s as well. Free kick, Espanyol. Redondo with a high kick. It was just for the raised foot, something that they're pretty hot on in Spain.
I'm wondering if Constantin Gâlcă, the Romanian free kick specialist, Rob, fancies his chances from this range.
Well, it'll either be Gâlcă, the number 15, or Arteaga, the number 19, who has a wicked left foot shot. Slippery conditions will make it difficult for Illgner to handle as well. Here's Gâlcă. And it's well blocked by the expensively assembled Real Madrid wall. Redondo. Raúl. Put out by Capdeville. Sergio. Capdeville to Santiago. Be accurate in saying, Joe, that most of the Espanyol danger is likely to come on the left-hand side, and a surprise substitution is about to be made by Real Madrid. Raúl, he's not really showed signs of an injury. It's going to come off. I can only suggest that that's what it is, because they wouldn't bring the most dangerous player in Spanish football off the leading scorer in LaLiga for no reason. And Seedorf, who's been taught a lesson, kept out of the side. He's going to come on after 25 minutes, and it's a mixed reception for the Dutchman.
Yes, I mean, obviously they've read the press and the problems that he's caused this week, but...
Santiago with the cross, and it's whacked away by Hierro. Sorry, Joe.
Anywhere will do for Hierro there, Rob. But I think, do you remember the incident when Raúl tried to turn on the ball and Capdeville caught him? Maybe he got his studs caught in the grass and there was a slight ankle twist. That's the only thing I can think of, Rob, but he wasn't moving as freely in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
The rain in Spain falls mainly on the Bernabéu. Seedorf straight onto centre duty. Gâlcă, Pochettino. Goalkeeper stays on his line, leaves it to his defence. Wise decision. It's a late challenge on Panucci.
It's another yellow card, Rob, I think. Helguera. And again, the slippery surface, Rob. He committed himself. Panucci's done well to cover across there, nick the ball, and the referee's correct. He's got no choice but to book Helguera, the second Espanyol player to be booked in the first half.
There's Cristóbal into the book. In the last games at the Bernabéu for Seedorf, it's been accepted, I think, from his agent, from the player and from the club that he has no future. Their suggestion is that he'll be part of a package which would bring Zinedine Zidane to the Bernabéu.
I think his Spanish wife said that she would prefer to be playing in Spain, and
she would. Maybe it's Mrs. Zidane the signing.
Well, that's actually what the president said then afterwards. He said, you know, who wears the trousers in the house, Rob?
Behind every great man, and you don't get much bigger than Zinedine Zidane. Zidane has made it clear that he would like to play in Spain next year, and I think Juventus have accepted that they can't keep an unhappy player. There's some capture, and Real Madrid is the kind of club which would certainly host a player of his stature. Clearance, and it's fortunate that it was Santiago with a long distance shot couldn't embarrass Illgner. Santiago is one of those players who's wonderful at setting up goals for others, but isn't too accurate when it comes to his turn at shooting.
No, I mean, he's tremendous down the left hand side. He's got a great left foot, a tremendous engine, but finishing has never always been his forte, Rob. We can safely say.
3 goals this season. His most memorable goal will be against Valencia last season. The 600th that Zubizarreta conceded in his incredible career. Pochettino. Nando. Helguera, who's not had a great effect on the game. Toni. Sanchís to Panucci. Seedorf. Maybe he'll feel comfortable at right-hand roll, and he set up a goal with his very first touch. And it's the second goal for Morientes.
I think it's Morientes' second touch as well, Rob. This guy is lethal.
Well, it was Clarence Seedorf who lit the torch paper. Yeah. His first move in the game, and bang on the end of it. With another typical sniper's goal for Nando Morientes.
Any young striker who wants to learn. Look at the movement of Morientes. You know, Nando thought he had him marked. He was 2 yards goal side of him, but suddenly he explodes. That acceleration, he gets himself a yard across the front of Nando. Toe pokes it into the near post, and it's 2-0.
Especially the untrained eye, it looks like he passed the ball into the goal, but it took a great deal of work, that, didn't it?
Absolutely, it was all about timing. I mean, the build-up was great from Panucci's ball down the line to Seedorf. Seedorf got a good first touch and looked up, and that once he looked up, then that was a cue for Morientes to make his move into the 6-yard box. Got across the front of his defender, 1 yard is all he needed. Toe poked it in, Rob, and he makes it look so easy, but he's a very potent goal scorer.
Well, can Espanyol claw the way back into the game? It's a great test of spirit on this promising young side. Constantin Gâlcă, one of the experienced players in the team, and well, they're fighting right back there, arrowing towards that Real Madrid goal. Raúl Temudo, it's the biggest game of the careers for some of these young Espanyol players. Temudo didn't play in the game earlier in the season. He had been loaned out to Liga.
I like him. He's played probably in the last 2 months a lot more consistently, but he scored a few important goals for him. He's lively, as is the Silva, or Dario Silva up front. They're both very quick, but they've had no service, Rob, in this first half.
Panucci. Elegant defending. Elegant's a word you can use to describe Iván Campo. Now Roberto Carlos. Redondo. So easy, breezy style of play from Real Madrid. Sávio. Foul count on that particular play has been to double figures now.
It's a quick feed again. He encourages defenders. Nando's the culprit in this occasion to make the challenges, and suddenly he nicks the ball away and they catch him.
Sanchís to Seedorf. Now Panucci. Seedorf just waited. He's got a point to prove tonight. Toni, the goalkeeper, who's on his way out of Espanyol. Could well be that David James, the Liverpool goalkeeper, may replace him. It has been suggested in Spain, especially with James making it clear he has no future at Liverpool, or Liverpool making it clear he has no future. James will play in Spain, and Espanyol, one of the clubs that may be courting the former England goalkeeper.
I was just thinking when you were talking about Toni, Rob, and you also said he only conceded 1 goal in April. He's not had a very good start to May, has he?
Sávio. Obviously an off-the-ball incident there. There's a little bit of rolling around, the holding of the chin. Morientes. Was he targeted for rough treatments, or is he acting? Well, the judge, and hopefully there'll be a replay at any moment now. Was it a forearm smash, Jerry?
Yeah, it looked like he pushed him away with his hand. I don't think it was anything more than that. His left hand's just pushed across him. Maybe he caught him on the throat, but they fall very well in Spain, don't they, Rob?
Cristóbal. Yes. I was going to say it was a good tackle. In the old days when Sanchís started his career it would have been, but it's now outlawed, and I think it's cracked the shin pad of Sergio Gonzalez.
That's a bad challenge.
I thought he won the ball.
Well, he did, but it was a lunge. It was a two-footed challenge from behind, and on these conditions, Rob, you know, the player's body just happens to come into line with the ball, and that's when the problems arise.
That was an excellent challenge. That's the way to do it, Iván Campo. His form was so good last year. He won a seat on the plane to France for the World Cup finals, Iván Campo, but he's had a seat most of this season on the bench for Real Madrid. There goes Sávio, and he's still on his feet. He's muscled off the ball. Bortolini, who was one of those big money signings, almost £9 million, his fee from Flamengo. Roberto Carlos. Iván Campo. To Panucci. John Toshak's had a difficult job to do coming in mid-season and replacing Gus Hiddink with a lot of unrest in the camp, but he does seem to have brought some spirit back to the side, and it's had a man of just discipline, Joe. Absolutely.
I mean, they will be disappointed obviously going into the Champions League, but I felt they came too soon for Toshak, Rob. He's had some very good success in the league. They've won more games than they've lost. He's lifted them from, they were 9th or 10th at one stage, and he's taken them up to possibly second tonight. It looks like they're going to go second. I think that's a success.
It's a little bit different from his days at Swansea City back in the late 70s and early 80s. He's had to come in and soothe a few battered egos of the stars, and maybe bruise a few as well.
Well, Toshak for me has had a great learning curve, you know, to take Swansea from the 4th to the 1st division as it was then, and then to go abroad and coach in Turkey and in Spain, and he's been all over the place, so he's got a lot of experience. Also his time as coach of the Welsh national team, that'll serve him also. I think Panucci's taking a bit of a hammering tonight as well, Rob, isn't he?
There's been a love lost between these two teams. That was Arteaga. A bit of retribution on the Italian hard man. Roberto Carlos. Sanchís. 2-0 to Real Madrid, but it's just simmering really. A bit more determination, and Espanyol could be well finished off before half-time.
They give the impression that they're comfortable, Rob, they're cruising, and every so often they take it up into 4th and 5th gear and create a couple of opportunities, and I think they're just going through the motions sometimes, but I think that's due to the fact that Espanyol are not putting them under an awful lot of pressure.
Aaron Seedorf, creator of the second goal, almost the creator of the third goal. He was aiming for the same man, Morientes, but in the way was Cristóbal. As you can see from those empty seats, it's not a match which has captured the imagination of the Madrid public. Their form at home has been largely excellent, Real Madrid, this season. They've won 10 of the 15 games, only lost twice, Racing and the big one against Barcelona. Toni's ball. And he made hard work of it. Campo. Seedorf. Just edged away. Roberto Carlos. And Mijatović. Flick. He wasn't able to put Pochettino out of his stride. Sporting a very trendy short haircut. It's interesting that he was left out of Argentina's World Cup squad by Daniel Passarella because he refused to have his haircut. Roberto Carlos to Mijatović. Sergio. Constantin Gâlcă now. Santiago, who's been arguably the best Espanyol player in the first half. Gâlcă. Tamudo. Better movement. Helguera. They need to get him involved. Cristóbal. There is Helguera. Former Roma player. Sergio. Madrid. Santiago whips the ball in. It's not a bad cross.
Well, Rob, I was just going to say, sorry, Rob, Helguera is probably one of their best midfield players, and he's playing on the right-hand side of midfield, and everything is going down the left-hand side. Capdevila, Gâlcă, Arteaga are all naturally left-footed players, and he's not had any service either. And I think you're right. Even if they give them the ball to him on the right-hand side, he might stretch the defence a little bit and draw some attention from Roberto Carlos.
Pochettino. It's the worst defensive performance from Espanyol since they played against Barcelona and were hammered 3-0 in the Catalan derby. Since then they've tightened up, conceded only 2 goals in 5 matches. The worst defensive performances have both been against Barcelona, home and away, where they conceded 3 goals in each. Sávio Bortolini. Mijatović. Panucci. It's a frightening assembly of names as Roberto Carlos fouled. So much talent, so many egos in one changing room. Oh, it was too much for Gus Hiddink to handle. He may have taken Holland to 4th in the World Cup. He may previously have won the Champions Cup. He may be regarded as one of the best coaches in the whole of the world, never mind the whole of Europe. It wasn't enough to keep his job at the Bernabéu. Was disastrous. A team who were poised to go second tonight in the semi-finals of the Spanish Cup. They won the World Club Championship. Of course, they are the reigning champions of Europe. It's been forgotten, he also took them to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Hiddink reign in charge lasted 233 days. Tom Toshak's couple of months have been a little bit better as Santiago plays the ball in. Oh, and how did that not go in? That was an incredible miss, which Dario Silva cannot believe. Well, he did everything right. He met it beautifully. He out-jumped Roberto Carlos. He placed the ball, and he just had a thundering crash, which broke his heart.
Well, it's a superb header from Dario Silva. But look, Roberto Carlos was marking both Dario Silva and I think it was Helguera at the back post. And this is what I'm talking about, being a little bit sloppy when they're cruising.
Well, Seedorf getting stuck in. And playing with a vengeance. To the final seconds in the first half at the Bernabéu. Best is yet to come. It's been a timid performance from Espanyol. And it's been a performance from Real Madrid which is moving through the gears. Sometimes they've got as high as second gear. And they do. And it's an experienced Espanyol team if they play to their full capabilities. Pochettino and Nando up from the back. Well, the second little warning shot. This time it was Capdevila who got his head to the ball.
It was a good ball in, Rob, a right-footed in-swinger, and they've always been renowned for being good on set plays, especially with Pochettino and Nando's height in there. But you're right, it was Capdevilla's glancing header that just took it, what, 2 or 3 yards wide of the post. But better in the last few minutes from Espanyol.
I think, Jerry, when the teams go in at half-time, John Toshak won't be focusing on the 2 Morientes goals, he'll be focusing on those 2 defensive lapses, won't he?
Absolutely, because for 35 minutes Espanyol were not at the game, and then suddenly in the last 5 or 6 minutes they've come back into it, and I think Real Madrid are very fortunate with the header from Dario Silva that it didn't go in, because they would have been on tenterhooks again with only a 1-goal cushion.
Half-time whistle goes. Satisfactory opening 45 minutes for Real Madrid. 2 finely taken goals from Fernando Morientes, his 15th and 16th of the season. Little fight back from Espanyol. It could get a lot worse from them in the second half. Half-time scoreline, Real Madrid 2, Espanyol 0. Pull themselves back into a game which seems to be running away from them in the first half. Real Madrid were not exactly giving it their all, and 2 superbly taken Morientes goals, the difference between the teams. Mijatović and the red-booted Morientes, the scorer of the 2 goals. Bernabéu, no changes of personnel in the second half. Toshak seems to have found the winning formula. There was a minor hiccup last week against Salamanca, an embarrassment against Celta the week before that. Well, that was on the back of 4 wins in his first 5 games in charge. And his stricter training regime and his no-nonsense attitude to his assembly of star players appears to be improving Real Madrid's chances and could well take them into second place in LaLiga this evening for 24 hours at least. And there will be some reward for those loyal Real fans who've turned out in terrible weather at the Bernabéu tonight. Roberto Carlos. There's Sávio on a run, he's had a good game on the left-hand side. Look at the assembly of players that Real Madrid have, and really should fill a stadium week in, week out. Sancho's cross, easily headed down by Hierro and Iván Campo, and the central defenders haven't really been stretched. There were a couple of scary moments in the closing stages of the first half. Now Mijatović playing a different role today, deep in midfield. Seedorf dropped but came on as a substitute, created the second goal. Panucci's cross, and well, we were close to a Mijatović goal. Hasn't been as regular as normal on the score sheet this season. Mijatović.
You know, that's a tighter decision than it looks, Rob. When he actually gets the ball, he looks about 5 yards offside, but when it was played, it's debatable whether he was off or not. Very tight decision.
Sanchís. played for the free kick, but he's an experienced man. He's the record for the number of outfield appearances in LaLiga. A couple of goalkeepers have beaten him, but his 497 appearances has not been bettered by any other player in the Spanish First Division. Panucci's throw. Sergio. Morientes. Now Sávio. Never the crowd entertainer. What's he got up his sleeve this time? Eases past Cristóbal. There's a good recovery from the Espanyol fullback. Sergio. Gâlcă. Cristóbal. Constantin Gâlcă, Romanian player who was out of favour with the previous coaching regime, is returned for the last 7 games after being bombed in November. Panucci. Runs into a brick wall, namely Capdevila. Eager defending by Espanyol. It's Santiago. Just as Celta Vigo have emerged over the last couple of seasons, the impression that if Brindisi could keep this squad together, they could emerge at the table and be one of the challengers for Europe and the title next season. It marks a mixed evening for Morientes. 2 goals and now a yellow card. Espanyol have won the last 2 away games. They beat Betis and skipped past Racing Santander 2 weeks ago 2-0. Cristóbal. Sergio. Gâlcă. Easily cut out by Campo, had the confidence to backheel it out of defence.
Still looking comfortable, Rob, at the back, Real Madrid, but I just still feel that the next goal is going to be crucial, because if Espanyol score it, brings it back to 2-1, we could be in for a very interesting 40 minutes. But if Real Madrid score it, it'll be game, set and match, and I think Espanyol will know they're a beaten side.
Sergio. He's complained about John Toshak playing him out of position. Actually complained to Capello about that 3 regimes ago. Not sure where he thinks he should be playing in the team. He's been effective on the right-hand side of midfield tonight. Silva. And Sergio. Panucci stops him. Hierro crawls out of defence. Redondo. Roberto Carlos. Argentina having fun and games. Plenty of vocal support from Brindisi for his young players down there at the touchline. Panucci. And Seedorf, who's heading for his 3rd big intercontinental move, and he's only just turned 23 years of age. Sanchís. Now Roberto Carlos. Sávio. Just flatter to deceive sometimes. Tiago, Camuro, and De Beer. Tiago is just tripped from behind by Christian Panucci.
I thought it might have been a retribution case, Rob, but he looks as if he was trying to win the ball, even though it was a foul.
By Tamuro, but Illgner going down and forcing one of his more difficult moments of the evening. They haven't got the most reliable of defences. He's only had 4 clean sheets in his last 27 games, Illgner.
I think we highlighted a few weeks ago, Rob, that Real Madrid have got the second worst defensive record in the Spanish League. I think that's down to some of their performances early on in the season.
Tightened up in recent weeks, apart from that 5-1 hammering in Vigo. Roberto Carlos, who was blocked American football style as he went on the sprint down the left touchline. Accepts it's all part of the game. It's pretty blatant by Nando. Substitutions can be made, and another one of the young players, Nan Ribera, comes on, and Konstantin Gâlcă, the Romanian, is replaced. Ribera is another young player who was signed from a low division team for Helguera. He came in the summer for a nominal fee. He's played almost 24 games this season, but he's lost his place recently. Sergio, Helguera. As a header for Hierro. An uncertain couple of months for Nando Hierro. Some thought maybe he was past his very best at club and international level, but he seems to have recaptured his form. There's Morientes on a hat-trick. Redondo. Almost squeezed through to set off. The responsibility for scoring the goals is now firmly on the shoulders of Morientes, with Raúl withdrawn in the first half with a twisted ankle. Panucci. Morientes goes right across the goalkeeper, and there's a collision there, but I think it was more accidental than intended from Toni.
I think the crowd are whistling. They wanted a penalty kick, but I think you're right. And Morientes does tend to fall, as a lot of players in Spain do tend to fall too easily for me, Rob.
Interviewing Karl-Heinz Riedler the other week, he was saying how honest they are in the English league after playing in Germany and Italy. Players don't trip over unless they are fouled. There's Illgner. It's been a few dangerous games, the German goalkeeper tonight. Now Hierro. And Seedorf did fall down, but it was the surface which was to blame. He didn't dive. Almost an hour of the game gone. Real Madrid with a 2-goal lead. Raúl Tamuro. Espanyol look like young boys on their first day at school. They're out of place, aren't they? Now Morientes sprints through. He's all alone. He has to beat Nando to get a shot on goal, and Nando's a vastly experienced central defender. Had the 3-year spell at Real Madrid. And this was the penalty claim
Well, he's ran into him, Rob, hasn't he? You can see that his momentum has carried him straight into the goalkeeper. He's made no attempt to kick him at all. And if anything, for Fernando Morientes has ran into Toni.
Tamudo has gone off. He's worked extremely hard in attack for Espanyol, but there's been no reward whatsoever for Tamudo.
He's only a young player, Rob, and as I say, he's come on in the last couple of months, but it's difficult for him.
There's a long shot, and the goalkeeper made it look so simple with exemplary handling and positioning. I think possibly the Argentinian is Raúl Tamudo's replacement. Helguera to Cristóbal. Nan Ribera. The cross, and he just where to stand to anticipate the cross. His throw is a bit of a gamble to save off then, and he's given it away. This is Santiago. Got a corner. Brundisi, the manager, helping out the trainer there as tries to patch up one of his players.
I think it was Nan Ribera who got caught there, Rob, going down the right-hand side. What is it? Dario Silva.
It's a lunge, wasn't it? It was Dario Silva. A lunge from Iván Campo left him in agony. Nan Ribera. Wasn't Nan Ribera? You're right the first time. He's about to come on. It's the number 16, not the number 18. Redondo. Roberto Carlos starts to sprint. Joyously goes forward, and he's trying an audacious. Well, it wasn't a chip, it was a shot, and it was a powerful shot from what, 45 yards out, given the angle. He's a man whose talents know no bounds. Look at this, he spotted the goalkeeper ever so slightly off his line. It was only a matter of inches, it wasn't obvious. And Toni was almost left with a big red face.
Tremendous effort from a tremendous player, Roberto Carlos. And you're right, Rob, he loves to push forward on that left-hand side. He did spot Toni off his line. And although Toni was backpedaling, it was very, very close to embarrassing him.
Sanchís. And the Morientes. Great back flick. Seydorf's cross. And it came off Sávio, and Espanyol breathe again. This is Nan Ribera. He's looking at by Roberto Carlos. Redondo. Panucci. Well, if only Real Madrid could play in this assured manner every week, then the manager John Toshak could have a side who will be challenging Barcelona right up to the final weeks of the season. Sadly they haven't, because you look at the team and it's quite frightening. Roberto Carlos, Hierro, and Panucci, and Illgner in goal, and Redondo, and Sávio, Mijatović, Raúl, Morientes. Suka can't get into the side. Guti, who's the only new face in the Spanish national team next week, has to make do with a substitute spot. Remember, Raúl's taken off in the first half. It has to be one of the most talented squads in the world. They just have not played as a unit this season. Starting the evening in 5th place. Who knows where they'll finish the weekend? Could well be in second, just behind Barcelona, but probably 9 points behind them.
Guess who's just got another free kick, Rob?
Sávio.
I think it was more clumsy from Nando than anything, Rob, but as I say, he's so tricky, he's got quick feet, he likes to run with the ball, and he commits defenders.
Roberto Carlos. Full box of tricks. Couldn't go round, so he went through. Now he goes round, and now he tries to score. That was sensational skills from Roberto Carlos.
I'll tell you what, Rob, he's enjoying himself today. He's pushed forward a lot in this second half and caused a lot of problems.
Look at him now on the far side of the screen, screaming back. He's gone back 100 yards to take up his left back position, which is what he selected to do, to stop the opposition scoring. But what a player to have in your side.
You wouldn't think he played midweek for Brazil against Barcelona on Wednesday, would you?
Oh, that was unfortunate between Morientes and Mijatović. Look at this kill. He tried the scissor kick, he went around Nan Ribera, cut inside, and it was on his slightly weaker right foot.
Well, I don't know, I think...
this is the offside, Hierro.
Well, when the ball's played, he's in line, isn't he? Again, who'd be a linesman, Rob? The decisions are so difficult now.
Redondo. Iván Campo. Santiago. Blocked by Redondo, but he continues his run. Santiago again. It's been a solo effort really from him tonight. Now Sergio has a powerful shot, but it's not always accurate.
I think that took a deflection, Rob.
Good faint deflection, corner to Espanyol. That was the flying boot to Hierro. Once. Clean sheet, he's only had two in 1999. The heavyweights are forward, Pochettino and Nando and Capdeville, a little closer the edge of the area. That's where it's aimed for. Panucci's header out, Sávio. Tackle by Roberto Carlos. Surely he's one player that Real Madrid will not allow to leave anything less than his buyout clause, which is about £90 million. He's one who's said to be unhappy. Ronaldo, his big pal at Inter Milan, would like Roberto Carlos to go play in Serie A. One of the stories which has been doing the rounds in Spain is that Zidane will come to Real Madrid and then happy Seedorf, and even Mijatović, who's had his problems in recent weeks, would head to Turin to sign for Juventus. That's for certainly the face of this Real Madrid's starting lineup will certainly be different at the start of next season. Santiago. Easily whipped off his foot by Iván Campo. I think when he was glowing the ball, there was a...
Do you know, he seems to have
grown smile.
He's grown in confidence since John Toshak has arrived. This is some of the best football I've seen him play. And he had a torrid time at the start, didn't he, Rob? And everything, I think everybody expected an awful lot from him. But he just couldn't find his form. And in the last 6 weeks, he's played really well for Real Madrid.
Some thought that John Toshak was just a stopgap measure. He's only given a short-term contract by Spanish standards to the summer after next. They got him relatively cheaply. They bought out his contract with Besiktas. Cost under £400,000. I mean, it's a month's wages to some of their star players. But they've given him a free rein to fine, to discipline, and to rebuild Real Madrid. Set off to Redondo. He's back in favour since John Benjamin, as they affectionately call the Welshman in Spain, took charge. Now Roberto Carlos. Morientes is waiting for the cross, and Roberto Carlos chose to be greedy. But when you've got that much talent, you can forgive a little bit of greediness.
I think he's shaking his head and smiling and saying, I didn't mean to put the ball that high. He meant to put it across the face of goal for Morientes to get his third goal, Rob, but he was just leaning back a little bit and it was too high. And for the first time he's actually put it back crossing as Arteaga comes off. Oh, Quique Martín.
One of your favourites, Quique Martín, but he's not a favourite with the coach Brindisi because he's only played a couple of times as a substitute since the Argentinian took charge of the team.
He's got great left foot, Rob, and he's another one like Sávio who likes to run at players and a busy little player. Is that a shot?
That's the most who've been to an Espanyol shot in the second half. 3/4 of the game gone. Real Madrid cruising, 2-0 up. Morientes the scorer of both. Pretty easy evening for Senor Roque, the referee tonight as well. Hierro. Redondo. Now Mijatović. Set off. Redondo. Redondo, the prince as they call him in the change room, is from a very wealthy Argentinian meat packaging family. He just plays his football for fun. The wages are a bonus. Panucci. Seedorf. Redondo. Sávio. Oh. It's away from Nando, but he'll be heavily in his shadow. He gets the cross in. Morientes is desperate to score a hat-trick goal, and he's thinking if Raúl has come off in this game, he may not be allowed to join up with the Spanish national squad for the Croatian game in midweek. And given Morientes' scoring form at the moment, he may be the perfect replacement for him.
Absolutely, I'd have no problems about putting him in, but look who's coming down the left-hand side, Rob.
It's the big bad wolf, Roberto Carlos. Oh, it's so entertaining to watch. This is Sergio. Hierro, hardly stretched. There's one great manager, I can't remember who, that said that when you go to a football game, you want to see players do things that you could never ever dream of doing, and Roberto Carlos certainly comes into that category. Some of his tricks are superhuman.
Well, it's all about entertainment. These fans have paid money to come and see star players perform, and that's what they want. They want to see the tricks, they want to see the goals. And I think we want to see a goal as well, Rob, because the game needs a goal now.
Guti. He's only a young lad, looked like a ball boy there, but he's the man who could be making his Spanish international debut in midweek. Whether he's going to get a chance to play for Real Madrid tonight is debatable. Redondo.
Oh.
Now Sávio, he's onside. He's wasted his big moment, and he made it pretty easy for Helguera to stop him in his tracks. Sávio is one of those players who's got all of the skill in the world, but flatters to deceive, and you often ask what is the end product of all of his fancy flicks and footwork.
Well, the last incident there, Rob, for me, took too many touches. His first touch should have been forward, out from underneath his feet, and his second touch should have been a shot into the back of the net. Instead, he killed the ball dead, and then took another touch and another touch. And by that time, defenders are back on him, and the opportunity's gone.
And him pot it. Roberto Carlos. I think it'll be encouraged to do that, John Toshak.
They're 2-0 up, they're smiling, they've got a cushion, and he can afford to try little tricks like that, but it can all go wrong for them. Oof.
A bit of a warning there as it comes off the head of Manuel Sanchís.
Well, that was on target, and Sanchís deflected it past Gustavo Silva again, back into the danger area.
They've had their fleeting moments. Espanyol have not been sharp in front of goal. Roberto Carlos. Madrid's aim now surely has to be to finish in the top 4 to qualify for the Champions League next season.
I think Steve McManaman's hoping that as well, Rob. I'm sure he's watching at home and looking at the team and wondering who he's going to be playing with next season and who else might be joining the Real Madrid squad.
It's interesting, isn't it, that he could sign 6 months before his Liverpool contract ends and he doesn't know who his new teammates are going to be. It's not like the coach is gone. It's hardly likely that the president could tell him who'd be passing the ball to him or who he'd be trying to lay chances on for next season.
That's always been the way in Spain, Rob.
Mijatović. Sávio. Sávio goes a long way again and it just lacks punch. It's a late challenge, it challenges Iván Campo and the referee flashes yellow. Oh, it's Martin Posse. He's only been on the field a few minutes. Who's the man punished this time? The man with the gypsy looks, Iván Campo, gives him a gypsy's curse.
You mean the Leo Sayer lookalike? Well, I don't
remember it, yeah. Cristóbal.
It was a 2-footed challenge from Posse, and that's why he got the yellow card. I think a bit of frustration, coming on as a sub, trying to make a name for himself. They're desperate to score a goal, Espanyol, to make a contest of this match. But the chances are starting to come fewer and far between.
15 minutes to go. Real Madrid with a 2-goal lead. Mijatović's corner, flick of the near post. He's got a second attempt. Now Seedorf completing this kick. It would have been a pretty spectacular, unusual goal had he made a contact. Iván Campo. Redondo. Seedorf. Roberto Carlos. Seedorf. Roberto Carlos has continued his run, but it's come out by Sergio. Now Dario Silva. This has been one of the best performances of the season from Clarence Seedorf, and maybe the action from John Toshak has just spurred him on.
Well, I think it's shocked him. Certainly his work rate's been very, very good, but his passing's not been as good as it normally is, Rob. Certainly a shot with his left foot isn't as good as it normally is either.
Sergio plays it back and rush of blood. Underemployed for the Illgner. Of course, that these two clubs do have in common is that they both had Jose Camacho as their coach in the last 12 months. Camacho left Espanyol in the summer, went to Real Madrid and lasted just 20 days before a fallout with the president. Of course, now he's the national team coach. Redondo. Change of direction several times. Mijatović feeds Seedorf. Looking for Morientes. Every pass in the final area of the field is going to be aimed for Morientes as he tries to score the hat-trick goal. It seems to be a mission of the team to feed him that goal. Hierro, a bit rough on Dario Silva.
That's for a push more than anything, isn't it, Rob?
Quique Martín. Madrid. Quique Martín is a former Barcelona player. A good confident catch and call from Illgner. Just got back into the side. He was out for 5 games with injury, and Pedro Contreras, the young goalkeeper, did well. 4 of the 5 games he played, and as a result kept his place in the team last week against Salamanca. It's not going to be long term though when Illgner was fit. In the form of the last 3 seasons he's been at the Bernabéu, Illgner has to be in the top 3 or 4 goalkeepers in the world away in Europe.
I thought 2 years ago he was definitely the best goalkeeper in Spain, and when Madrid won the title, he was one of the main reasons. Outstanding every week. But he's got that experience. I mean, he's retired from international football now, but he's got a wealth of experience playing at international level for Germany.
Mijatović. Led on to Seedorf. Wonderful skill. Oh, the pass was intended again for Morientes. Now it's Roberto Carlos, 2 to aim from the centre, it's Sávio! And that's a tremendous save by Toni. Keeping the score down and saving Espanyol's embarrassment. And Sávio is a wonderful player, but he just lacks that cutting edge.
He didn't do an awful lot wrong on that one for me, Rob, because it was a great ball and he's just met it with a header. But Toni, for me, he's one of the top 2 goalkeepers in Spain. You know, there's he and Canizares are the top 2 Spanish national goalkeepers, and that's fantastic reflex saves.
He's a goalkeeper who may well be taking the medals to go with his talents. So now all he's won is the Zamora Trophy and an Olympic gold back in 1992, but next season it's fully expected that he's going to be playing for Atletico Madrid when his contract expires with Espanyol. Barcelona are also looking at him, but of course they have Hesp, the Dutchman, who's been in tremendous form this season. Silva. Perfect block by Sanchís. Now Seedorf. 10 minutes to go. Mijatović. Teasing cross. It's just too far away from Morientes. I wouldn't go as far as say the fans are loving this performance, but I think they're appreciating it. That could have been the 3rd goal, and that was an excellent fingertip save from Toni. Guti, Jose Maria Gutierrez. He should play for Spain against Croatia in midweek. He's going to get around 10 minutes to stretch his legs, and Sávio, who could have scored and should have scored maybe that 3rd goal, is the man he's going to replace.
Yes, I think Mijatović will go up front and Guti will go into left side of midfield now, Rob, which is where I think he's comfortable. Got a lovely left foot as well, Guti.
Redondo. Set off. Mijatović. Now Panucci. Guti gets his first touch. Seedorf. Morientes. Oh. It's the attempt for the hat-trick. Toni's determined if he has one more mission in this game, is to stop Morientes scoring. Morientes has scored the 2 goals, but Roberto Carlos has been superb, but he lines up at left back, but he's omnipresent, he's everywhere. Set off. Great strength, great pass. Toni again was off his line, sharp-minded.
It's good goalkeeping from Toni, Rob, for me, because nowadays, as we've said before, it's not all about coming and taking crosses and making good saves. Sometimes you've got to be a sweeper, and even though it looks like he was offside, Toni was very quickly out of the blocks to punt that one upfield.
Martin Posse. Iván Campo, as Jerry pointed out, has had an outstanding game tonight. He's going to leave Espanyol, wondering about their position in the table. They start the evening in 10th, 3 points above Real Betis and Valladolid. Had they won, they could have gone as high as 8th this weekend, above Real Sociedad and Zaragoza. If it stays like this, the victory for Real Madrid is going to take them on to 56 points, which will be 2 points above Celta Vigo, Mallorca and Deportivo La Coruña. 5 minutes to go. Guti. Panucci. Hierro. That falls neatly for Mijatović. The cross, good goalkeeping. Toni's had an outstanding game. He's in the Spanish squad for the Croatia game. It's likely that Canizares, the former Real Madrid goalkeeper now at Valencia, will keep goal for Spain, but Toni is an able deputy. His first cap a couple of months ago against Italy. Came on for the final 7 minutes. Santiago in the game. Will there be consolation for Espanyol? I'm sure they deserve it, Jerry.
They haven't really cleared anything clear-cut for me, Rob, particularly in the second half. I think the best chance was in the first half, Dario Silva, when he hit the post, Rob. And even then, they hadn't created much. So I think Madrid certainly deserved to be at least 2 goals in front. But for Toni, there might have been more.
Campos, half block. Seedorf, not got it away. Conservative effort and finish from Espanyol. Put out by Redondo. Now Seedorf. Sanchís. Guti. Roberto Carlos. Redondo. It's like testimonial football they're playing at the moment. Every flick and chip you've ever wanted to do in a football match has been produced by a Real Madrid player. It's all very casual. Let's be confident for the final 2.5 minutes. They can hang on to the 2-goal lead. And here's Silva's cross. Santiago brings it down, and Espanyol not at all deadly when it comes to shooting. Every time Santiago or Raúl get the ball, they're ducking behind that goal.